Welcome to Doing the Business. I'm Graham Keogh. Let's get into today's episode. We've got a very special guest here today, who's Nick Percat, a supercar driver, a V8 supercar driver, very successful supercar driver, and also owns the JND team. So it's great, Nick, that you spent some time with us, and we really do appreciate that. Can you give us a bit of background on your JND? Because it's a very, very exciting thing that we're involved with.
Yeah, it's all relatively new. It started, to be honest, it was just three of my good mates, or me and my two good mates. We decided that we were going to randomly race a go-kart again at the national level. You know, we'd done it since we were kids, 7 years of age, all the way through our teenage years. And then one Christmas, we thought it was a good idea that at mid-30s we'd have a crack again just for some fun, because we love the sport.
Yeah.
So long story short, the J is for Jake, who's a good friend of mine, and the D is for Daniel. And over Christmas, he decided to make a little logo with JND for our initials. And we went quite well. And then next thing I knew, we had people asking us to run their kids in go-karts. So that's how it started 3 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
And now it's grown massively. Obviously, we have Toyota 86 race cars. We have involvements with the Wickham family. And yeah, it's gone from kind of like I was full-time supercar driver doing some mentoring and karting stuff on the side to now we have a full-blown race team. We have 25 drivers on our books through karting into cars. It's it's really escalated really in 3 years.
Yeah, and our involvement is we supply the prime mover to pull your transport all around the country. So we're very proud to do that. Nick, the young kids that are coming through the karting, what do you see in those kids? Do you is there two or three things you look at? How do you pick that kid that's got the real talent?
It's hard. It's really hard because obviously there's kids with amazing talent. So you kind of got two different areas. You got the kids that have this natural talent and you watch them and you're like, wow, this kid is unbelievable. And then you have the kids that maybe don't have quite the natural talent, but then they work really hard and they kind of get to the same point, and there ends up being a crossroads where those kids decide if they want to be race car drivers and the hobby becomes serious, and the one with natural talent works a bit harder off track and takes off. So it's really hard to identify the difference. But for me, it's I like seeing the kids that are having a lot of fun. And when I watch them drive around the track when they're 7 years of age, I can see which one naturally picks up quite well. And then all we kind of do is the parents probably don't realize I'm even doing it, but I'll often go to the fence and watch a certain kid, and people probably wonder what I'm watching because there might not be a J&D driver on the track. But I keep an eye on a few kids that are, not necessarily in our team and see how they go about it. And I watch how their parents are on the in-grid, on the out-grid, how they all conduct themselves, and that's where you can really see the talent. So we're very lucky in our karting team. We've got 20 exceptional drivers and families that, first off, the families are very committed to what their kids are trying to do. Yeah. But on the flip side, the kids are just obsessed with motorsport. So they're on simulators every night, mucking around together. They just love racing cars. So that's what I really look for. It's just the passion.
The passion, that's a passion in everything, isn't it? Yep. If you're going to be good at it, you got to be all in, haven't you?
100%.
But the kids that are coming through, do they race in your karts, or they get their own karts and part of your team, or is that? That's probably a pretty basic question, but
no. In karting, normally the traditional way was same as how I did it with my dad. We had our go-kart, we had a little trailer, then you towed it to the track and stuff like that. But with J&D, the way the world has gone and karting now is extremely professional. So we have a 32 meter marquee pit space for them. We supply them their toolboxes. They arrive and it's all there. So J&D own every single go-kart in that pit area. Okay. We are also the importer of the brand of go-kart with Parallel. So they all drive the Parallel go-kart, which we import. But then at home, we encourage that they have their own kart at home, because when they race for us, they probably put a bit more pressure on themselves and it's very serious. But I still think motorsport has to be fun with your mum and dad, which is what I grew up having. So they all actually have, all 20 kids have their own kart at home that they just go out on weekends. They do local races. They go practicing with mum and dad, and it has to be fun, because the moment it's not fun, the kids don't want to do it.
It turns into a job, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, when they come racing for us for the 10 events of the year that we do nationally, that's all JND kart owned by us, and we prep it, everything. So full arrive and drive, no different to like a supercar team.
Yeah, right.
But then during the week when they're off doing their thing, that's in their own stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Right. So it's very, very professional. It's right up there.
It's escalated.
It's escalated. Yeah, well, I'm like probably a lot of Australians. My motorsport interests were at Bathurst once a year.
Yep.
You know, and I'd sit and watch it and really enjoy it. And then my daughter and son-in-law got involved in the last couple of years in the 86 series. And I just could not believe how competitive it was. Like, it was unbelievable. Like 2 seconds in the top 15 cars out of 30 on the field or something like that. It was unbelievable. And the age of these kids coming through, like my son-in-law, he's 32 or something, but these kids are 15, 16, and they're right at the front of the pack and just going really, they're out there doing the business. They are red hot.
The 86 category is extremely competitive because it's a controlled car, as you know.
Yeah.
So what you guys put on the grid and what I put on the grid, you have the same opportunity.
Yeah.
You can do little bits with the setup, but these kids they drive the wheels off them.
They drive the wheels off them. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I got there. I thought, this will be
nice.
Yeah, this will be
a bit intense.
A busy Sunday afternoon drive, and they just took off. It was just insane.
Yeah.
But still very safe, which is really good.
Yeah, 100%.
So that was good.
They're great. They are a great car, especially for that entry level. You can jump in them. You don't have to have years of karting experience, and you can jump in them and drive them pretty competitively.
Yeah, so JND, they're into that space too, the 86 and the GR Cup.
So we have 3 cars in the scholarship, so the level down series of Toyota, and then we have 3 cars in the it's only just happened actually, gone to 3 cars for Townsville next weekend or 2 weeks time in the GR section. So all our cars have the nice Wickham branding on the rear quarter panel, and we've got Zane Rinaldi, who's really good. He's I'd say he's our experienced lead driver. So bit of pressure on him because he feels like there's a little bit of expectation, and then we have the Rosso family, so Jordan and Tommy Rosso, that also drive the other 2 cars, but they've kind of been like the bit of the dark horse. Like no one really knew who they were, and we've just gone about our business with testing and coaching, and now they're finding themselves quite far up the grid. So
that's a good thing.
It's quite nice, yeah.
Yeah, so Shane, he had Wickham Freight Lines on the side of the car, and we saw that a lot because a lot of the time he was sideways in the corners.
You made the highlights reel.
Yeah, the highlights reel, yeah. So anyway.
Perfect.
Any exposure is good exposure, I suppose. That's really good with the J&D, and congratulations on that. I hope it works really well. But what I'd also like to know about is what's it like to win Bathurst? What's it feel like?
Well, when I first started watching Bathurst with Dad when I was a kid, I'd dream of it, and it's even beyond what the dreams were, as a child when you have these crazy ideas that it might happen. It was incredible. Like even when I watch back the footage, I still get like goosebumps because it's pretty insane that it was my first ever Bathurst. I was 23. I was driving for the factory team. Like it was all crazy, and there's actually shots in the pits of me with like 5 laps to go, and I'm pale because I felt like I was going to pass out. I was probably nervous and excited, and but driving alongside someone like Garth Tander was incredible. And when we got to the podium, it was funny because the way it works at Bathurst, the teams that have had good years and championships, they're always at the far end of pit lane, so up towards turn 1. So being HRT, a good team, we're up there, and we crossed the line, won the race, and Garth came in the back of the pits through the campsite like they do to get to the podium, and then the team and me made our way down pit lane, and then the security wouldn't let me through. I had to go through another team's garage and then jump over all the Dunlop tyres that were stacked in garages, and security trying to stop me. And I'm like, no, I've just won the race. Like let me through because no one knew who I was. Like I was just a kid wearing a HRT suit. So I actually missed the first part of Garth getting out the car. And I think he didn't know where I was. And I was climbing through different garages, trying to sneak my way through to park from A to get in and jump on the roof with him. So it was pretty surreal.
Yeah. So it was a excellent feeling to the whole country's watching you. Yeah. All your family, everything.
That whole
extraordinary.
And then the 24 hours and the week after, like, the celebrations with the team. I remember getting back to the accommodation and I sat on the bed and it was like, just have a quick shower and meet the team for dinner. It's a huge team dinner. And I sat on the bed and just like took a deep breath and I actually passed out of sleep. And I missed most of the team dinner because I think I was just overwhelmed with the whole thing. And then the next morning you're straight to Sydney, all the media stuff, every news broadcast. And it's like a week and a half of just being pulled from pillar to post. And it's it is crazy. And Garth said to me before we went on the podium, he's like, this is about to change your life. And it did. It was insane.
He wasn't wrong.
No. He was definitely right about that.
He wasn't wrong.
No.
Yeah. How do you handle pressure like that? Like, we're a transport company and, we're under pressure at times to perform and to do things and everything. So how do you handle the pressure of all of that?
I was fortunate. Obviously, when I came through my junior racing, I got picked up or scouted in pretty simple term from Holden back in the day. So they set me up and they contracted me with HRT or Walkinshaw Racing. And in part of that was I was treated no different. So I was in a junior category of Formula Ford and I was being treated like I was already Garth Tander's teammate at HRT, like back in 2009. So I had trainers, sports psychs, all this stuff that the main drivers were using. I was already doing that for 2-3 years before I even sat in a supercar.
Yeah, right.
So I already had probably a lot of the mechanisms and things in place to handle pressure because I was under a lot of pressure in my junior career to perform to make sure I got to supercars because we didn't have the budget to do it. So, I was very fortunate that Dad, he's a mechanic in Adelaide with a couple of guys working for him. It's not like some multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah.
And he was very, very good with how he got a bit of budget for us from suppliers and bits and pieces like that. And then with the Holden and HRT thing, they propped some of the budget up. So I knew if I lost that deal, the show was over. The
show was over, yeah.
So there was a lot of pressure there and I had to do a lot of work with the sports psych because I had a bit of a run there where it was I would either win or crash because I only had one thing I wanted to do, it was win. So I had to have that kind of reined in a bit. And by the time I got to Bathurst with Garth, I felt like I was pretty much in tune with the team because I worked at the team at HRT. I was with Garth nearly every day of the week, training and doing all sorts of things. Yeah. So as soon as they told me early in the year. So it was like I had 8 odd months of preparation with Garth and conveniently we were the same height. So we sat in the same spot in the car. We used the same seat insert so we didn't have to change anything inside the car.
Yeah.
So then we set my Super 2 car up the same as his inside. So when I drove my car, it felt the same as his. And so I guess when you're comfortable in your environment, it probably took a lot of pressure away.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because it felt like I was just another day of work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, from the outside looking in and you see you guys racing and it's wet or it's, you're bumper to bumper, there's not a lot, doesn't look like there's a lot of room for error, Nick.
No.
Like it's just a touch of the accelerator, a dab of the clutch and
it's all over.
Your whole, everything changes.
Yep.
So is it that intense? Is it that?
100%. Like even now, like I've been in the sport since nearly 20 years. And if I was still full-time, when I would sit in the car before qualifying, you're nervous. So there's a lot of pressure because you know that you need to execute in qualifying. You're generally going to get 1 or 2 laps to get the job done, to put the car in the right spot. So I would be really, really nervous. Like your leg would be shaking or do some breathing techniques to calm yourself down depending on which track it was. Obviously you qualify at Bathurst. There's a lot of risk. So you probably get a little bit more wound up. So yeah, there is a lot of pressure. Once you're in the race, you're probably more to like. I think then when I'm in the race, I'm just young Nick having fun, like I was in a go-kart. Like I'm just love it. So,
Yeah.
you're obviously very disciplined with how you drive the car. You can't just be a lunatic and be sideways and have fun. But
Yeah.
I think at that point you're just doing your craft. You know, you're locked in. There's no distractions. The pressure of a battle with someone for a really good position or a win is really enjoyable. Like it's fun.
Yeah, that's motor racing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
And you can feel the pressure when they're catching you, or
Yeah.
you can feel like you're anxious if you're catching someone to try and pass them for a win. But it is like you think back to when you're a kid, it's why you do it. It's fun.
Yeah. So once you let the clutch out, the fun starts.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a lot like truck driving. You don't really want to go to work on Sunday. You don't really want to do this and you do all that. But once you get in there, let the clutch out, you start to enjoy it, you relax, and
you're on the
day
road.
goes by. Yeah.
Yep.
So who's one of the toughest competitors that you've been up against? I've probably learnt more from competitors than I have from any other person, because they were hard and they were ruthless on me in the early days.
Yep.
And so who's
I've had
the top 2 or 3 or whatever? You know?
I've been pretty fortunate to say that I would say I've driven against some of the best drivers and supercar drivers in the world in my time. So, I had Scott McLaughlin, who was a junior at the same time as me. So I came through Super 2 and all our junior categories racing him, who's gone on to IndyCar, and he won multiple championships in supercars. So I had to try and beat him. There was Van Gisbergen, Cup, Lowndes was in there. Then Garth Tander, James Courtney. Like, I've come through a few different eras of drivers. So like when I raced Craig Lowndes, he probably wasn't at the peak of Craig Lowndes, but I still had to race him. Like, he was still extremely good.
Yeah.
So I think, like you said, the competitors that you come across and learn from, it's when I've actually raced them. Like, I've sat behind McLaughlin or a Wing Cup and seen the way they drive the car, and I've seen the way they defend or attack. That's when you learn the most. But the ruthless drivers are probably the more old school ones. Like Garth Tander was savage. Like, he would put you in the most compromised positions, even if you're his teammate. Like, it was just win. That's all he had wired in. And then to try and go up against someone like Shane Van Gisbergen, which, during my career, I never raced him head to head that often for like a win or anything. There was only probably a handful of times, but he was so smart and calculated. Yeah. Like, you saw if you were catching him or he was catching you, you're like, what is he going to do? Like, he always felt like he was 2 steps ahead of you, even if you were prepared to race him. Like, it was like hard work. And he was just that wily fox that was like, you think he's going to go left, but he goes right. And then the next time you're like, oh, but he went right last time, and then he goes left. Like, he was always 2 steps ahead of everyone, to be honest.
But those guys might say the same about you too, Nick.
You never know.
They'd say that, like, hey, he was hard to follow or hard to catch, or,
I think I was painful because I used whatever I had up my sleeve, put people in awkward positions. Yeah. So different to business, if you it's so different.
Which is what you got to do.
Exactly.
You got to go out there. And so now you still race now, and you're in Bathurst again.
Yep. So I retired from full-time racing late last year. Basically, the JND Racing team was growing so fast that it was impossible for me to do both. Like, I still had 2 more years to go on my full-time driving contract. I think I could have comfortably extended that to when I was 40, but I've cut that short to focus on the business and the young drivers, because I get as much out of that. When I see one of the 7-year-olds win, I get much out of that as I do winning Bathurst. Like, it's really good. But I was very fortunate that Triple Eight and Red Bull Racing, Jamie Wing Cup had decided he'd probably had enough of being in the driver's seat, because he actually owns and runs Triple Eight. So he gave me a call up and said, I'm thinking about retiring. Would you fill my spot to go alongside Brock Feeney? So I've landed myself there for Bathurst and Tail and Bend. So it's the Plum Drive. It's the best seat in the house. So, and now I get to work with, I would say, the best racing team in the country. So again, I'm probably looking at them going, oh yeah, this is what I can do in my own business, but I'm also getting to race with the best race car drivers on the grid.
So how do you keep yourself at the top of the game when you're not racing
Like full time?
Full time, and they go, righto, boom, you're in the car.
It's hard. Well, this is the first time I've had to do it since 2011 because I've been full time since, but I think it will be difficult, but again, I'm with the best team in pit lane, like the support around me, what I'm doing. There's ride days when we take sponsors for rides, so I'll drive the car majority of that day. I think we get a test day before Tail and Bend.
I'd like to hope you do.
Yeah, and then I jump in the go-karts whenever I can, like our karts that we got. I jump in the 86s at any test day. I'd go do the baseline lap time for the drivers to chase, and so we got a good data set. So it looks like I haven't been driving, but I keep it all behind closed doors. Like I've probably done 2 or 3 test days in the 86, which I know it's not a supercar, but you're still kicking the ball, you know? Like,
Just got to get your mindset right.
Yeah.
And then.
Yep. And I'll do my normal prep that I used to do leading into events with onboard footage, track map notes and all that kind of thing. And I'm still training every day like I was when I was in the main seat. So if I got the call up tomorrow to go race, I feel like I'd just slot straight in and off I'd go.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
So you spoke about then the best team in the business. So what makes the best team is it, or how many people are involved in a team with engineers, mechanics and all of that? Like,
yeah, I think it's not the number of people. So I think 888 Race Engineering, they got a few different departments at Red Bull there. They've got obviously the supercar team, and they have an engineering firm basically where they're creating parts for not just race cars. They're doing stuff external to that. So it's quite a big business there at 888. You know, I'm going to have a guess they'd have to have for the supercar team. I'm not even sure. They'd have to have 50, 60, 70 staff full time, I imagine, across that whole business.
Yeah.
But what makes it a good team is the culture. No different to, I think, any business. You know, it doesn't matter if you're working at Coles as the checkout chick. If your management and your support isn't good, you don't want to be there. And it's no different to being in a supercar team. Like, that's the first thing I noticed when I walked into 888. And that helped me make my decision that I didn't want to be full-time anymore because I walked in and the culture there is just unbelievable. So the support the drivers have, the support the engineers have, the mechanics, like the saying of, you know, get the business structure of the management and turn it upside down, and that's how people should be treated is what Jamie does. Like they have a big lunchroom there and they have a chef that's cooking for everyone full-time and they have lunch, and I looked over and I'm like, oh, Jamie Whincup, the most successful driver in the history of supercars, owns Red Bull Ampol Racing in 888, and he's sitting next to the apprentice talking about his weekend. Yeah. So that probably speaks volumes of what that team's doing off track, and then the results and the procedures and everything they have in place to make sure they go well on the racetrack it
just flows through.
Takes care of itself, I think.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure no different to what...
Yeah, it takes a lot to keep a culture right, doesn't it? Like it's got to be led from the top, and everyone's got to be treated with respect, and so that's what we really try and do, and we spend a lot of time on it. And you know,
I just like the way so Glenn, who drives our truck from obviously you guys, he calls it, is it the Wickham wave? So everyone that comes past each other, he sees on the highway, gives the wave, and he's like, no other transport company does that. Yeah. I'm like, oh, really? So, like, even that itself says a lot about what you guys are doing as well.
Yeah, it's good. We've got a good team of people, and we've worked hard to do it, and we've got a great team of customers and that, and all our workshop staff, and we've just about to open a new terminal now in Melbourne with a new depot and a new wash bay, a new workshop. So that's pretty exciting. Yep. We'll be down there next Friday for that. So that's really good. What's the normal person, when it's a race day, what's the normal person? What don't we see on the TV? What don't we, you know, there must be a little bit of action that we don't get to see. Oh, yeah.
There's always action. I haven't done a full race weekend yet with 888, so I have no idea what they're up to. Well, I did at Sydney, but we also had the 86s there. So I was running the 86 team, and then I would come in and watch in the back of the pits. But over my years, the things that people would not see is the politics inside the team, like anything.
Yeah.
That's where the culture is important, like staff members having blues, drivers having blues with engineers. There's a lot that goes on in the background that, it looks like it's all smooth sailing and everyone's just bobbling along, but underneath they're swimming like hell to not drown sometimes. So I think the big thing is that probably the mechanics, they don't probably get shown enough of the work that goes in. Like the amount of times in my career where you're sitting in the car with 30 seconds to go before pit lane opens and it's still on the setup scales and they're working frantically to get that car out. You make it out the pits and then they can switch over to, all right, the car's now on the track, but we have pit stops to do. So then they suit up and do all the pit stops and execute the pit stop. Like the pressure the mechanics are on is pretty substantial, especially if there's a crash and repairing the cars. And it'd be cool to be able to show that more, but there's so much IP that teams don't want spread out.
Yeah. And there are consequences too for those guys if things go wrong. And
there is, but the amount of times we've seen
with sponsorship, there's big money at stake and
there's
100%. Big egos to be fed. And
the team owner wants that car on the track. Yeah. Because it pays the bills. But
it's got to be out there doing the business.
Yeah, like when there's cars crashed and they do an all-nighter, it's
you see
on.
that, don't you? And, and you go, man, oh man, they did well with that.
Yeah, like I've always been of the opinion, I haven't been in many teams where there has been cars needing to do that, but I think it was 2 years ago my teammate had a crash at Adelaide and it wasn't even my car, but I stayed back as long as I could and, you try and get them pizzas and just keep them drinking water, not energy drinks, so they get them through the night because they're going to be there all night and then come back with ice creams at like midnight. It's just part of the team morale, isn't it? And try and liven it up because it's a stressful time and people get grumpy.
Well, it's funny you said there before, like you said you get out there on the racetrack and have fun. Well, it's so easy to be negative now. Like everything you see on TV is negative. The cost of living, the housing, everything's negative. And I pulled our staff into line in the office the other day and said, look, it's not that bad, You've got to come to work positive. We're here for 8 or 10 hours a day. We've got to be positive. And that was only a week ago. And then the whole show this week, everyone's just having a good time. Everyone's enjoying it. There's a few laughs. And it's just a mindset. So
100%.
It's what I learned early in my career as a driver. You've got to have the right mindset. You've got to go to work positive.
Yes.
And then the positive vibes feed off on everyone else. And all of a sudden, those little problems aren't problems anymore.
Yeah.
It's just... That's just the way it is, and we get over that and we keep going. So
that's one thing I'm learning now as the team owner, and you obviously have people working for you that if I come in a bit grumpy, it goes through the place very quick because there's only 5 or 6 of us.
That's right.
So it's like, you got to try and put a bit of a front on sometimes to keep it all positive and happy. And
well, you got to sell the dream to everyone.
You do.
You got to sell the dream. Like same as me, if I come to work grumpy, within 15 minutes, everyone's grumpy.
Yep.
Well,
and they're scared to talk to you.
I'm not really enjoying this, so I want to go to work and enjoy myself. So, and that's always what I've tried to do. So, and it seems to work so far. So, what sort of setbacks have you had in your career that's really taught you about resilience and hardened you up, or whatever? There's
been a few. Yep.
Yeah, there's always. Successful people always have setbacks, don't they? So that's just part of it. It's just how you handle that and what you learn from that, I think, is important.
We won Bathurst 2011 and I was trying to get into the main series with, in the main driver. I couldn't quite get in because I was actually, to be honest, waiting for one of the older guys to retire, Russell Ingall, because he was in the Walkinshaw stable and he kept going and going. I couldn't get in, so that was quite frustrating. But then when I finally got in 2014, I was the 4th car at Walkinshaw Racing, or HRT. So it was Garth Tander, James Courtney, Tim Slade and myself were the 4 drivers. And it was my first crack. I hadn't been in a supercar. Ray won a little bit. In 2013, I actually did Porsche Carrera Cup. So I'd driven supercars in 2010, 11, 12, and then I did a year of Porsche. And the next time I drove a supercar was round 1 and I was a main game driver. Like it was a lot different, and I trucked on in that year, and I think I finished might have been 10th or 11th in the championship. Like came third at Bathurst, second at Eastern Creek with a really cool race against Scotty McLaughlin. Like I had 2 or 3 podiums during the year. I was clearly the standout rookie. And then I found out like a week and a half before Christmas that I wasn't driving next year, even though I had a contract in place. And so to hear that off, you work so hard from when you're 7 years of age to get into the main game, and then I felt like I outperformed 3 of my 4 teammates who were credentialed drivers, getting 2 of them getting paid $1 million a year, and I'm there on peanuts and a kid. Like that was hard to hear. And then I got very lucky, and Holden kind of saved the day and placed me in a team with actually a really good friend of mine with Lucas Umbrell, and I drove his team. But I've gone from like one of the biggest budget teams in the pit lane to literally the smallest team in pit lane with no resources, and I had to stick it out there for 2 years. And it was hard because I was looking at other drivers who I didn't think were probably deserving of where they were. But thankfully I got, the hardest thing was hearing that news before Christmas. And, the thing with a racing car driver, we always try and do multi-year deals, because if you're doing 1 year deals, every time you get to December, you have this stressful 4 or 5 weeks over Christmas period where you don't even know if you're going to have an income the following year, let alone racing a car. So you always try and do longer term deals so you have some stability and you can live life a bit more normally. So to hear that then was shit house.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
That was average.
But someone spotted the talent. And
I was very fortunate with Holden.
Away you went again.
Got on, and then I had 2 years of some pretty tough times, but managed to get another Bathurst podium with this team. I won Adelaide 500. And then I found myself at Brad Jones Racing, and it was kind of like the reward for a bit of the suffering. Yeah. And had a really good run there after that. But I think there's been more, but that was probably the worst one where it was like,
pretty tough going.
Yeah, just as a young guy, you think you finally made it, and then to have it ripped away, especially when you haven't done anything wrong, it was pretty harsh.
And you're getting podium finishes too.
Yeah.
So back to the JND, you've got a lot of really highly talented kids coming through.
Yep.
Is there enough spots for those in the motorsport here in Australia, or will export some of that talent, or in a world scene, how good is our talent coming through?
It's every bit as good as anything in Europe or America. Like there's no issues there. So we've got one driver who we still mentor and help out with Brad Madgman, who's came through karting in Australia and did a little bit with us, and we're just really good friends with him and kind of helped him get to the first step of America, and he's winning races over there now in junior categories. But to the question, we have 25 drivers. What do I do with them all is thankfully they're staggered. So I have them from 8 years old through to, early 20s. So, and then basically I just sit down with the parents, and not every single driver is the same. Like I got drivers that want to go to Supercars 100%. I got drivers that want to be engineers. I got drivers that want to be F1 drivers, and I got drivers that want to be in America. So there's a lot of diversity of what we can do. But thankfully they're not all 16 going, hey Nick, I want to drive 86 now, because I would have a drama. I'd have to fill the whole grid, which I'm sure Toyota would love, but that's hard. And then, it comes down to, does the family, can they support the kids' dreams? Because it's expensive. There's no doubt.
Obviously. Yeah.
And we try and help in that side, but at the end of the day, it's sometimes it's the kid just happens to be in the right place at the right time. You might get a bit of backing from someone, or someone at Toyota or Ford or wherever in Supercars sees them and wants to do something with them. Like
spots of talent in the way.
You got to still got to have a lot of luck go your way, but we try and put them where we can. And
so the JND model, are there other people in the country here doing the same type of thing?
Nowhere near what we do. People, I keep it pretty closed. I don't like people knowing 100% what I'm up to. Because the drivers that we have in our team, they know it's like you can't just walk up and drive for JND. I don't accept anyone. Like I've had drivers that are exceptional talent, but their parents were a disaster. So I'm not interested because I don't want that toxic family in our team that brings the whole thing down. So sometimes I have to say no to kids that probably have more talent than others, but the package is not right because it would actually ruin my whole team. So we're very frugal on how we select drivers to come in, and it's got nothing to do with how much money they have at all. It's about the attitude of the kid, how hard he works off track, and the parents honestly being supportive because like any sport, I think when there's finances involved, high pressure, the family or the parents can become, they wouldn't even mean to be, but quite harsh on their kids. And I don't like seeing that.
Yeah, no,
like,
that's a bit hard to look at, isn't it?
Yeah, I hate seeing a kid coming in crying because they know that mum and dad aren't happy. So we're pretty strict on who we
and
are happy to represent
and
our
the
team.
protocol, how it's got to work. Yeah, this is the environment we have, and this is the way it's got to be kept. And
100%.
It's a standard, Nick, isn't it? It's
so
a standard.
like they have to use our trainers that we offer up with nutrition, and if I know they haven't done the work leading into the event, they get a sit down and spoken to because 9 times out of 10 that event goes poorly for them, and you have to say, hey, well, if you put in the effort, we probably would have had a different outcome here. So
we didn't prepare enough.
No, exactly. So, and the parents know that too. It's like we're not rocking up. So Townsville was our next round for karting as well as 86s, and we're on track Thursday, and I don't accept rocking up Wednesday night because they should be there Wednesday morning and around the team and not tired, and they can execute the weekend because it's costing everyone a lot of money to go there. So why would you save $100 on a flight to come a bit later when you probably should put the effort in?
Yeah.
So even stuff like that, we just try and manage to help them understand.
Yeah. Well, it's all part of the professional.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's the industry they're going to go into.
Yeah.
And some kids want to go into F1.
Yep. We have a couple that hopefully later in the year will take over to Europe and they'll do some karting races over there. And then thankfully, just from my career, I've met so many people throughout Europe and America. So if I see a kid that's actually good enough to make it and has the drive to make it, I then know who to call and put them in front of. Yeah. So I'm very fortunate. Like, we think when I was at Walkinshaw and Andretti United with 3 years ago with Chaz Mostert as my teammate, Zach Brown, who's the boss of McLaren F1, he was the part owner of that team.
Yeah, okay.
So like I have his phone number. So if I have a kid that's like the next Oscar Piastri, it's like, hey, would you have it? Just have the conversation.
Yeah.
So we try and open doors wherever we can.
Yeah, well, that's like business. The more people you know, Nick, the easier it is.
Exactly.
That's just business.
100%.
That's just business 101. The more people you know, the easier it is. So.
Yeah, you can lean on whoever you need. And if you can't help at that time, I just pass the buck and trust the person that you're going to.
I think that's answered a lot of our questions, Nick. So it's I really appreciate your time. Anything you want to ask me?
There's a lot I could ask you.
Oh, not really, man. Not really.
I just look at the facility and everything you guys have in Warwick. It's incredible. Like I only saw photos for the first time recently when we had our we were testing 86s at Morgan Park, and Glenn, our truckie, took the trailer around and had his truck there, and thanks to you guys. So I guess for me, it's just probably a thank you that I get to see the standard that you've set, because that's what we aspire to do as well. So and then
it's great to be involved too, and we really enjoy it. And then my daughter and son-in-law enjoy it. I enjoy being part of the motorsport. It's only, I've never had a lot of time to spend on it because I've always been at work.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of getting more and more involved in it. So I sort of quite enjoy it, and I like how professional it is and how well organised it is. So I really enjoy that. And our facility in Warwick's great, but, we've been there 2 or 3 generations.
Yeah.
And it's just been done by a lot of really good people working really, really hard.
Yeah.
we're obviously the owners of it, but it's just a lot of hard work from a
Yeah.
lot of really good people. So
Do you have? It's interesting because your story sounds like not that too different to a young kid trying to make it in motorsport. Like you start and you're trying to build something.
yeah.
And I guess, what advice could I pass on to a young driver from your, like a whole different view? Because yours is a business side, but it's no different. Like you're trying to be a racing car driver, it's a business.
I think you've got to take the opportunities when they're there. I think you've got to be polite.
100%.
You have to say please and thank you.
Yep.
I think that's done me well over the years. You got to treat everyone with respect around you.
Even competitors, like, even if you don't love someone down the road who's your competitor, I feel like you have to be the bigger man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, competitors are good. They stretch you out. You know, like they make you better.
Yep.
And you can be polite to competitors, but when you let the clutch out,
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole different story.
It's a whole different story. Yeah, we're out there doing the business, and we want to do it better than the other guys. So
it's so similar to motorsport. Visor comes down, and I'm having
visor comes down. Yeah,
I'll put you off the track if I have to.
Yeah, and some of our competitors now we're sort of great friends with, and over the years, but still we're competitors. So,
yeah, 100%.
But no, thank you very much for your time, Nick. I
worries
really enjoyed it. So I wish you all the best.
All right, thank you for having me.
And I think it'd be super rewarding, watching all those young people come through, because I love watching our young people in our business, or any people in our business, grow, and they turn up and they might start at an entry-level job, and within 3 or 4 years, they're telling me what to do. And I love that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a great journey for you for the rest of your life, with all these young kids coming through. They'll go,
I have a lot of kids telling me how to do it.
Yeah, and I owe this to Nick. I owe this to the work that you've done. So, congratulations on that. So,
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
Very good.
Thanks.